Of course, Joe Shasky would be the one to throw up on the teacups.
No,
he would be the guy.
No.
Oh, the teacups, man. I got a concussion with
I
the
did get
teacups.
hurt on the Grizzly at
I knew it. I knew it. What
Great
did I say?
America.
This guy gets
My
hurt
back,
everywhere.
I went, wow.
Oh, wow.
Hey, the Grizzly.
Well,
you get whiplash on the Grizzly. I'll be fair.
Yeah, that
the wooden roller coaster.
The wooden rides are
But
sketch.
of course you got hurt. Like I got whiplash and it was 15 minutes
you
later.
got to
all
like
good.
brace on some of those.
Oh my!
So when you're down in LA Disneyland, you're going to check out a Clippers game and see James Harden.
Are they
Hey,
down
the
there
Tower
during
of
that time?
Terror. Wait, real quick. Tower of Terror, best ride there by far at night.
I think James Harden on the Clippers could be a tower of terror for their fans.
Give it to me.
Just to get back to basketball after the last 4 months.
I feel kind of weird out there, but just not really having a preseason game or an opportunity to participate in the full training camp or none of that. It was just out there just basically winging it. But I try to go with my basketball instincts and what I've been doing for the last few years or whatnot. I'm just going out there and playing and thinking the game and trying to make the game easier for everybody else.
So can you go back to the beginning of this, Clut?
Just to get back to basketball after the last 4 months.
Save that sound.
Well, go on YouTube, Scott Van Pelt Show, because his face, he goes,
That's like when I found out that, Conforto opted in for the Giants, I went, when I found out Ross Stripling opted in, I was like, oh, God.
When I found out that Anthony DeSclafani will be back on the Giants next year, I went,
I'm not a system player. I am a system.
When I found out that Farhan Zaidi was extended as president of baseball operations with the Giants, I was
Just to get back to basketball after the last 4 months.
When I saw Larry Bear at Chase Center yesterday,
What I got to give you credit on this James Harden thing. It's uncanny how many teams want to acquire him and think it'll be different with them. Like he's the guy that's been divorced 9 times, and it's like the 10th one. That's the one where I'm going to find love. It's like, no, you're not.
Can you play that again? Just the entire quote, because I played it 5 times. Anna, listen to this guy. Like I was standing up in the bed. I was like, listen to this guy. Listen to James Harden.
Just to get back to basketball after the last 4 months.
I feel kind of weird out there, but just not really having a preseason game or an opportunity to participate in the full training camp or none of that. It was just out there just basically winging it. But I try to go with my basketball instincts and what I've been doing for the last few years or whatnot. I'm just going out there and playing and thinking the game and trying to make the game easier for everybody else.
I mean, this guy, and you look at Kawhi, you look at Paul George, you look at Westbrook. Kawhi Leonard, especially a role player on his team now. I mean, he did not look thrilled yesterday. After the game, before the game, Paul George is like, yeah, we're going to have to work. The Clippers didn't have to make this trade.
No, but
I don't get it.
I'm glad that you're bringing this up because when the Warriors acquired Chris Paul, a part of me thought, not that it would be as severe as James Harden, but a part of me thought like, oh, this could either be really successful or horrific.
Yeah.
There's like almost no in between.
Right.
And like realizing how much of a professional CP3 is, and even though I couldn't stand him, I was like, he's not going to pull a Harden. And he's totally accepted the role that they've given him. And obviously he wants certain things at certain times, and he wants to play in certain situations, and I get all that. And there'll be some friction at some point. But you're not getting what you're getting from James Harden, from CP3. He may get hurt. He may not be able to score in certain situations. Like, he may not be the greatest defender, but he's not that guy.
No, Spadoni, you're tapped in on the NBA.
Sure.
Well, actually, you just watched the Lakers.
No, I'm tapped in.
No, you don't.
Shout out the pregame show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 6 a.m.
But I was just, because...
You don't watch the Magic like we do.
No, you don't.
Paolo's my guy.
You see Paolo cross over LeBron the other day?
It's my cousin, of course.
Cole Anthony.
Paulo Banchero.
Great 3-year deal.
Shout out Worldwide Hef. I'll never forget that moment. He dropped the ball, looked at us, and was like...
Is that the king?
So I did slide in the DMs to say hi.
DMs are popping. James Harden, was he hurt? Was he hurt before the season? Was he hurt in training camp?
Probably.
Who, Harden?
Harden.
Yeah,
He wasn't hurt,
He
right?
faked the injury.
I thought he was just fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
We don't fat shame here.
SOTA way lost that cob. I know about being fat. So he wasn't hurt. He refused to go to training camp. And then he says that yesterday. I didn't have a training camp. I wasn't able to play the preseason game. So it felt a little weird out there. I was just winging it.
The 2012 Clippers.
Thank God for Stephen Curry. We need to appreciate Steph Curry even more. They got to deal with James Harden. We got Steph Curry. Thank the heavens. And now you see Chris Paul. He wasn't the problem in Houston. James Harden was the problem in Houston.
CP3 did get hurt.
He got hurt, but no, there was that famous clip of CP3 trying to talk to James Harden, and he tried to dap him up, and Harden, dissed him.
Is he the worst team player of the last decade in any sport?
Yes.
In terms of, he comes to your team, individually he'll thrive, but everyone else will suffer.
Yes. There's not, and I think he's a good dude.
I don't even know who's second.
And listen,
second?
I don't even want to go at, because I know some people will work with James Harden, with Adidas, and I don't even like doing this, because James Harden, from what I hear, is a really good dude off the court. Really good dude off the court.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play with him, though.
But on the court, I'm just bro, when it came to complaining about the MVPs, he was worried about that. Then he finally gets his MVPs, not good enough. I just don't. He goes to Brooklyn, forces his way out. He's playing with KD again. All of a sudden, he wants out of Brooklyn. Philadelphia, you have a good situation in Philadelphia. You got a big man. You don't have to be the number one option no more. You can kind of take a step back and then kind of save your legs. And then, the way, and Tim Legler was on this when they lost to Miami in 6 games a couple years ago. He showed the effort level of James Harden in an elimination game.
Legler can't stand him.
Hey, that breakdown was this is an NBA superstar failing to get back on defense.
And what's
failing to hustle.
What's crazy is he might go down when it's all said and done statistically. There's one of the top 5, 6 shooting guards ever. I consider him a point guard.
Right.
But you know where I'm going with this. Sadly, his stats are through the roof.
They are.
Through the roof.
They are. There's no doubt.
There's also a generation of kids skipping to my Lou as they travel in youth basketball. You know exactly what move I'm talking about.
Rock a new era. Well, people say Sabonis is a star. when people say the Sacramento Kings are going to be playing in June.
I've had enough.
I mean, people. That drop never gets old for me.
I've had enough.
When we saw the Houston Rockets sweep the Sacramento Kings and beat them by 25 yesterday.
What's crazy to me is that
said Brock Purdy was a generational quarterback. I'm sorry.
Is Jimmy done for the year? Is that what's going on?
He's benched, so he's the backup for the rest of the year.
Out sucks. In the
well, if he was out, if he was inactive, the Raiders would save money, but they're actively making him a backup because they could have put Hoyer back there. But Jimmy's response to getting benched.
When James C underscore 1982 thinks he's funny.
That is going way
on
inside
YouTube,
radio.
On YouTube. That was on YouTube, folks. Everybody listening to their car radio. When people say the Warriors are finished. When people say the Niners need more juice on the sideline. When Sam Lubbock thinks that Miami's going to be Florida State.
When Tyler Van Dyke drops back to pass.
When the Giants have $102 million committed to role players.
When Greg Johnson talks. You can go all day with this.
Don't ever talk about the Patriots like that.
The board is back.
When Alex Cobb, when it was announced that he will miss the first 6 weeks of the season.
Would you rather be a teammate of Jock Peterson who's trying to swindle you at the card table within your own dugout?
And we got a Pasoy problem in the clubhouse.
Playing way too many games out in the outfield, or Harden's? Who would you rather be a teammate of? No, seriously.
You could beat Pasoy, Harden, or Jock?
I'm trying to think, and you guys brought the question up, the teammate that's worse than James
He's
Harden
not
right
even
now.
close.
Well, because it used to be Dwight Howard for a while. He was up there.
But was he that bad of a teammate?
I mean, he had like 8 teams in 8 years.
That's
it
true.
felt like.
That's true.
It was pretty bad.
650 Comcast business text line.
Because everybody made it like Cam Newton was some bad teammate. I never thought he was a bad teammate at all. I thought players loved him.
He just loved him some him, which is
but
fine.
no, but it wasn't like he did anything that like ruined the franchise's name or
Is that love
his
and laughing?
teammate's name. Like, who would even be?
650. I know what he's laughing at. When Anna hears about the DM.
So I did slide in the DMs to say hi. I know people. I'm fashionable.
When James Harden said he was the system.
Draymond Green talks about the camaraderie this year versus last year.
Oh, okay. What glasses was Draymond wearing in the postgame? Are those Cartiers or
Might be some Gucci.
How do you
glasses,
pronounce that?
Some glasses that I can't afford.
When your DPOY has only 3 sacks through week 8.
Absolutely incredible.
With your DPOY, Blazer defensive coordinator for getting to the quarterback. With your defensive player of the year, swung the organization out of 120 guaranteed million.